It looks like we are ready, so we are now going to.
I'm not going to use that.
That is fine. He's a fine teacher. So, good. Our guest is it's going to be fine, well taken care of. And you are going to be well taken care of here too. Let us pray. Dear Father, thank you for another opportunity to come to your church. Open our minds so that we can review this lesson better, and also give us the desire to put all this knowledge in action. In the name of Jesus, we ask you. Amen. All right. So when I read the title here, "Be Who You Are," I was worried, because I heard that many times with friends, co-workers, everywhere that I go. Because we have heard, "Oh, this is who I am." And when they're talking "be who you are," they're already opened the door, or they're saying that it's okay to be human. When I'm talking with a lot of faults, it's okay to get faults. Sometimes they are proud of being faulty. So be who you are. Just be yourself. It's talking also about the self. And we're not supposed to be selfish. So I was worried about it. What is he talking about? Be yourself. And as I read and studied the lesson, I found that it's not be who you are, but be who you can be with Jesus Christ. The potential. Because as we are faulty. We shouldn't be happy to be just ourselves. Haven't we been preaching, talking about that? And the Bible tells you, we have the 10 Commandments that tells us, listen, you are not okay. You need help. So if we say be yourself, it's contradicting that. But it made us think. It made me think. That's not what it means. It means be what you can be in Jesus Christ. And we're going to read about it, okay? Let's see. Memory text. For this very reason, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, to goodness knowledge, to knowledge self-control, to self-control perseverance, to perseverance godliness, and to godliness mutual affection, and that mutual affection love. Be better all the time. Try, work hard to be better.
Bottom line, love.
Love, exactly. And it is like what? In order to get to the love, seems like it's telling us, you build yourself with this stepping stone, which is self-control, godliness, goodness, faith, all those until you get to the love, which is the most important. Not necessarily they are in order, but it's telling us, you get all these, and as a consequence, you have love. Yes?
Building ourselves is a day-by-day process. We cannot do it in one day. Every day we ask the Lord to give us a fresh supply of blessing and enrich us with His love and His mercy, so we grow day by day.
We grow day by day. Very good. We have one factor. We grow day by day. And we grow with help. Because many times, and I want to speak about myself, I don't even know what I want. But God knows better. Because I can see what is in front of me and I say, oh, I want these, I don't want that, I want that. But I don't see what's behind it. God has a vision to see the future and to see what's behind things, and so He can guide us better. So we need to grow daily, but we need to grow accompanied by who? With Jesus, with God. Very good. Of course, we're talking about Peter. Again, we call them books, but what are they? Are they books? What are they? And what does it mean in modern English? Letters. epistles, but, we don't call them epistles anymore. I'm going to send you an epistle. No, I'm going to send you a letter. So it is good answer. That's the right answer. But to make it into like we understand better, we got to talk like the way we talk. We call it letter. It's a letter. Have you received letters? I'm talking about not bills, like from a gas company or whatever. I'm talking about personal letter. Have you received some? How do you feel when you get a nice, hi, how are you? I miss you letter. It's great, right? This one right here is Peter. It's a love letter because he's giving advice that he thinks is so important for the church, especially at his time, with the age that he had. He read upon it and he was like feeling that he was like going out already, going to die. And he said, well, if I'm going to die, I better leave them good advice. What did he say one time? Gold I don't have, silver I don't have. Right?
And he also told him that before I throw up his tent, I'm going to remind you of what you had already known, so that you can keep it in your mind to know all what is going to happen.
Exactly. And that should be a quote that every teacher should memorize. Because repetition is the master of a good student. You repeat things like the times tables. You don't know the times table, but you repeat them until you get them all. Right? Or anything else. Something that requires a little bit of memory, you just, you grab whatever it is that you are going to memorize, and you can even take a walk and start memorizing, repeat it until you memorize it. So Peter says, I'm going to tell you, even though you heard this, and you probably know this, but I'm going to tell you to remind you, to make you keep these things present in your mind. You do things over and over and you become an expert. Same thing here. No difference. We're just exercising the mind. If we play with a soccer ball and we kick it out, sometimes we can do whatever we can do with our hands, sometimes even better with a foot. We get that good. Here, if we repeat the principles of that God has given to us in the Bible, we're going to become experts. Without even thinking, we're going to know the answer. We're going to know how to react, decisions to make, and so on. It's going to help us because we are doing it. Peter knew that. What do you think that Peter called it, or the lesson calls it precious faith? Any ideas? Precious faith. It's the beginning of the list. He says, your faith, you gotta have goodness, and then self-control, and all these things until you ended up with love. What do you think is called precious faith? Let me just tell you what I think. When you do something, sometimes it's hard, sometimes you don't want to do it. The most important action that you do is the first one. In the morning, when you don't want to get up, you know that you have to go to work, I have to fix breakfast, lunch, and then clean up a little bit and then go to work. Oh, I got to do all those things. Which one is the harder one, but the best ones that if you do it, you got it all? Is the first one. Once you rise up from bed and stand up, you got it. Because you know that you're already standing up, you can continue to do whatever. But if you stay in bed, you're not going to do anything. So I compare that to faith. The faith is a lot more than that, but I'm just giving you an illustration. If you have faith, you believe in God, you believe that He's going to help, you believe that you're going to do this and you are going to come out successful, you got it. You got to take the first step. And that step, you only can take it, you can only take it by faith.
And the precious faith also means we need the faith to please God. We need that faith to please God.
Exactly. And what you just said is how we read it in the Bible. What I just said is the same thing explained in a normal conversation. But what you just said is what I just said. So I agree with you. Faith is, I put you the example, is the first step that we take. Isn't that right? Yes, please.
In order to have that faith, pray. That's what gives us faith. When we pray in the morning, first thing, that gives us faith to go through the day.
Yes. And I think one thing helps each other. You have faith, then you pray, then you pray, you have more faith, and you go like that, right? No, you're right. And like I said, sometimes I don't even know what I want. So we need to be, another thing that we can put in between these lines and verses is on honesty. When we pray, we should be honest with God. Oh God, I will follow you like Peter. No, let's be honest. God, I don't even know if I'm going to follow you. Things are hard sometimes, and I fall. Help me. God, I don't feel like praying. Be honest. I don't feel like helping. Because I don't even know what to ask you for today. I know that I have to go to work. Please help me do that. And I know I already asked you so many times, but what am I going to do? I don't feel like praying, but I want to ask you to help me. And he understands that. Wouldn't you respect more a person that's being honest to you when they talk to you? Same thing with God. Yes.
We're not desperate enough. We are not desperate enough.
Pray.
Okay. Well, sometimes God answers even the prayers that we don't even say. But if we have the needs, we don't need to think about it. Just like in the Bible says, when things are going one way or the other, we claim what? Abba, Father. And I'll explain after the participation, I'm going to explain to you again what that means. Yes, what's next?
I just wanted to just read what the author has in the lesson, which I thought was very good. And it complies with what you just said too, for the teaching. It says, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourself. It is a gift of God. And the author says it's precious because without faith, it is impossible to please God, what you said. It's precious because by this faith, we lay hold on many wonderful promises. And of course, the lesson breaks it down. But I think that's the bottom line of it.
The bottom line. It's a gift that comes from God. It's the bottom line, as you say, is the foundation. It's like the cornerstone. We can give it a lot of analogies, a lot of names, but it's one of the most important things. Yes.
Well, like it says in the book, it's called precious faith because by this faith we lay hold of many wonderful promises.
Yes. All the promises that we have, all of them, right? All the ones that we long for. You can just, if somebody can just tell me one thing that you long for, I can tell you some, but I want you to, somebody can say something that you long for? Yes?
I long for my children to accept the Lord and be faithful to Him, because each one of us have a free choice. I cannot choose, but I can pray on behalf of them, but they got to make a choice for themselves.
Okay, see? There's one. Anything else? Many other things that we long for, right? We long for our children to be with God. We long for health. Righteous life, to protect us from dangers in the world. And for peace. All those things. But faith is going to help us do that. Because if we don't have faith, if we just think about what is going on in the world, we'll give up. Because it's too dangerous. Too many bad things are going on. But with faith, we can think, no, God has promised that He's going to take care of us. And
that's what makes it precious. Because it is a gift and it's precious, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
That out earlier, I believe, when you receive a letter, you point that out. And if we receive a letter that letter is very precious because it's from someone who thinks a lot of us.
Yes.
And so faith is the same way, represented in the same way that
It's a gift from God, and it's very precious because we know that He's unchangeable.
Yes. It just remind me of the thing that a letter is precious. The ones that we have received, sometimes we keep them for years, right?
Yeah, even cards.
Even cards, yes.
Yes, I have a great granddaughter that excelled in soccer in high school. She excelled so famously that a college in northern Washington is giving her 4 years of complete scholarship. Complete scholarship. Now that's great. That's quite a success. The funds will be taken care of. But the thing I have most concern is that lovely girl and her talents of students, of studies and the talents of the skill of playing soccer is great. But the thing that I long for and worry about, and pray about all the time, is that she'll find Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Because her mother has not taken that kind of time. She loved a wonderful home. These are people who go out and enjoy the beauties of nature all the time, everywhere. In the mountains, they climb the big rocks, they swim, they hike the mountains. Always out in God's nature. And that's what my granddaughter said, that's where I find God. That's fine. That God is the creator, but he also has to be the redeemer of you and of her and of me, and my granddaughter.
Yes.
And I don't see that yet, and so that's my constant worry.
You're worried, you're wrong
Concern.
for
Yeah.
the right
Excellence is
things.
wonderful. Yeah, money, scholarship. That's nothing unless you know the creator.
That is, thank you, Dwayne. That's a concern because I've seen in several other situations, the children are growing up well educated, well trained for life. They got good grades in school. They behave great, but they lack the knowledge of God. So it is a concern for all of us. We long for that, so that God can make it happen, so that they can come to the church, right? Yes, and many other things. So we believe in that because we have faith that God is all powerful. So that's what I was saying. The foundation is a letter is precious than faith. The faith is the basic thing, which again is the foundation of things. Once we believe in God, that God is so powerful, if He can do everything, then the rest will follow through.
And you know what makes that so precious also is that we pray for people, relatives, or whoever. See, God is not like us. When you pray, and that person, they don't know it, decide to look to Jesus, that prayer becomes answered in a way that we don't know, but it becomes answered on behalf of that individual, because Jesus is your prayer. And what He promised is there on paper. I mean, not on paper, but I mean in heaven. So when you pray for your daughters, your children, as far as I'm concerned, if they decide to look to Jesus at some point in their life, that prayer is being answered.
Yes. All those things, God will make it, put things that will make things happen. So, okay, precious faith. Okay, that was precious faith. And then we start with faith and we ended up with what virtue? Somebody said it already. With the virtue that we all should seek for. But we should, look for all of them. We should desire all of them. But as we progress from faith, start with faith, and then keep on adding virtues, we ended up with one that is called one of the most important, or the most important, which is love. Exactly. Now, we are, unfortunately, in this case, we're not like God. God is love. So He cannot, meet somebody and then start loving that somebody, because He's love. He's eternal. So He always loved us, right? But we are different. We need to show and practice, work out, use love. So in this case, this progression of virtues that Peter talks about will lead us until we love somebody. How do we love somebody? Don't quote the Bible if you don't want to. Just quote relationships. How did you fall in love with a friend? How do you do that?
You look at them first.
I mean, you look at them first, and you like something of them, right? And then what else? You have the desire to get close, to talk, to spend time with that person, right? And then you do. And then you spend time, and then what? The friendship grows and grows and grows. So, but it takes a few steps. It takes some action. So in this case, it's like that. And we practice all these nice things, all this goodness, and it's all tempered. If you don't have self-control, it's going to be very difficult for us to have friends. If we don't have good temper, same thing. If we are not good, we don't do good deeds, we're going to have a problem finding friends, right? So how in the world, let me put it that way, we are going to have a loving relationship with people if we don't practice all these virtues that Peter lists. So therefore, when he listens, he was inspired by the Holy Spirit. He was very intelligent. He wrote it down and said, let's seek all these virtues, but the one and done with love. What should be our state of mind when we encounter another person? Somebody, whoever. Friend or foe, we know this person, but we don't know. What should be in our minds? What should we have in mind for that? As Christians, we should always, what?
Their best interest.
Which is anybody's best interest. What is the best thing that we can wish to somebody? Let's think about Christians, about the commission that God has given us.
First thing, if we are Christians, we should look at them as a brother or sister.
Yes, exactly. But and our desire is for them to be what? Just like us.
Yes, and it shouldn't be
To be what?
judgmental.
No, yes, exactly. But let's turn into the positive. What is the best thing that we can wish to a person?
Be Christian.
Be Christian. And when you're a Christian, when you follow Christ, you are not going to suffer what? The consequences of what? Of sin. You're going to be saved. There's salvation. I was just trying to you were right, but just put it in a simple way. When we see somebody, we should see their salvation, which is the best thing that it can happen to any one of us. Because once we're saved, we're going to be with God. So therefore, we're going to have this love is going to make things happen. We should seek all the virtues. And then once we have all these virtues, we have good temper, we'll have more friends. Let's try it. Let's exercise that. If we have a problem like I do, that sometimes I have bad temper, if I get rid of that and I say good temper all the time, I'm going to have an easier time of finding friends. People are going to like me more, right? Anyway, love. The goal is we're never going to be exactly like God, but we are always going to grow similar to Him. He is love. He gave everything, the most precious thing that He had, which is the Son, Jesus Christ, to die for us. Are we willing to do something exceptional like that for others?
If we claim that we love God, it's almost essential.
Yeah.
Because we cannot say we love God and not have.
And let me tell you something. Every time I say that, I take that about myself thinking that's a hard thing to do. Isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is. It's difficult.
Now, let's be honest to God. God, just like Jesus, He was honest. Listen, Father, if you can let this, if I don't have to go through these, make it happen. He didn't want it to die. The pain was real. But He said, but be your will, not mine. And He helped him go through it. And some other ones spared the trouble. Jesus not, because He had a mission. Yes?
No, I was saying, it is very hard to love people that are not lovely. So that takes faith, and it just takes a lot, because there's a lot of people out there that you cannot love, but you have to love them.
Exactly.
You know, you don't want to love them because they're just so not nice.
And thank you for saying that. Right now, we all agree we have to love people. Yes, sounds great, right? But what? We can be put to the test as soon as we go walk outside, or even here. Somebody comes with the similar to the description that you made. We have to love them too. Is that easy? Let's be honest.
Right. You know,
Right? But God is going to provide it. He'll provide help.
I think, and I just listened to what she just said. Loving, I think that love has to come through by way of Jesus Christ. When you study His Word, you see how He was treated. I don't think that means that you let people walk over you as far as family or anyone like that. I don't think that I could stand by and see someone walk over my wife or my children if they're with me. I think that the love that I hope that we're talking about is recognizing that Christ died for this individual. But I'm not going to allow him or her or them to destroy my life. And I might be wrong in saying this, but I think my love it will not dissipate my love. But I don't think that, depending on what it is, I'm willing to stand by and let my family be destroyed, or even let my life be taken. So I think we need to understand.
A little explanation. What we just said needs a little explanation, like you just said. We need to love everybody, including the people that try to harm us. But we have to be very careful, because they will harm us and other innocent people. To different things. Right? We can love them, but we need to stop it. Like Jesus, when he came to the temple, everybody was exchanging money and selling things there. What did he do? He opened indignation. He turned the tables upside down, and he told them, "What are you doing here, you thieves?" and calling thieves and a few other things, right? And but he did it with what intention? What did he have in mind when we saw those people taking advantage of the poor and the rich, selling them things?
They didn't have love for the people because they were taking advantage of them.
Yes, but even though they were doing something really bad, what did Jesus have in mind for them? Let me see if you got that. I already told you.
Salvation.
Salvation! Just like when you have children that are doing something wrong, what are you going to do? Oh no, I love him so much, I'm not going to do anything because I love my son so much, I'm not going to do anything. No. No, please don't. What are you going to do? Say it. You're going to discipline because you love them. Isn't that what God says? In Revelation, right? I discipline all the ones that I love. Once God is silent to our sins, we're doomed. Right? Just like when you have a children. Their children, oh, sit down, sit down, sit down. But when you as parent, you don't say that anymore, what comes next?
Spanking.
The spanking, or right? So Brother Charles, you're right. We have, let us pray that we do the right thing, right? And we do it right, more I say, when we have a dangerous person that we don't like, but if we don't like it, it's for a reason. The reason is real. It's real. It's not that we are more like mean or we hate people, no. If we don't like him, if we are very careful, we try to go around, it's for a reason. But in our minds, there's always should be their salvation. But we have to be very careful. How are you going to provide, words of comfort or advice to these people? Sometimes they don't want to even listen, right? So we have to be careful. God will guide us. Who was going to speak? You were? Somebody?
I was going to illustrate it by the love that one of our church members had for a young man who was released from the boys' school or the penitentiary. He lived in an area where they had a very big penitentiary for just the youth, for the young people. He took this young man in, gave him love, gave him a car to use. The next thing you know, he had gas tanks on his place because gas was getting less and less and less. This boy was stealing the gas and going and doing other things. Well, his love and care was terminated at that time. Realizing that he can help him to do what is good, but when a person starts to do evil or acts evil, we've got to do, as our child said, protect ourselves and let that love be the love of God. It's greater than the problem that's happening, but it doesn't. We don't weaken and give in to that kind of exercises, which some people seem to find natural to do wrong.
Exactly. That's 100%. I agree with Dwayne, and I'm going to add to that another thing that I've done in my life. At work, I have fired people. I didn't want it to, but they practically fired themselves. But I needed to take action. Let me tell you something. One time I was driving on Palm Drive. We're going towards the freeway. And I saw these young men that I fired coming from the side mirror. He was catching up to me. I said, uh-oh. And I remember the way he left work. He left really, really angry at me and the other the manager. He said, he's going to cause trouble. And it's like, I was uncomfortable. I tried to pretend not to look at him. But he was determined to catch up to me. He did. And I was thinking, oh well, let's see. I cannot do anything because I'd be too dangerous to need to do something. I need my maneuver. So I look. How are you? I found this other job and I'm doing great. I'm applying all those things that I learned here. Praise the Lord. Do you see what we have to take actions. Sometimes those actions, but we always have to have in mind their goodness. Because a little discipline sometimes is what we need, right? To wake up. But we have to think and do things the right way. And if we don't know, what do? We pray.
Just one thing that
Yes.
in April we talked about love covers all, a multitude of sins. And the author says this, when we love one another, we must readily and easily forgive those who hurt us, who offend us. For a love abounds, small offense, and so forth. I'm going to just make an example. There are some agitated, negative attitudes. And I think that a good example that Christ gave when we studied this past a few weeks ago, that when Christ, the Jews brought the lady to Christ, okay, who was caught in adultery and so forth, and he began to write their sins in the sand. I was impressed with the author that he did not attempt to destroy them, and we get back to the salvation. Again, he wrote it in sand, but he didn't beat them across the head with it. Mm-hmm. They recognized it and they left. And so,
it is true.
What can I say?
No, you're right. He didn't turn around and say, okay, what are you talking about? You do this, you do that. No, he just wrote it down. He didn't call it out.
No, he didn't call it out. So there are some areas that we, like in the case that you had, that you're right. There are some extremes, and I think that takes a strong relationship with Jesus Christ, and we shouldn't even worry about that or be concerned about those extremes.
Yeah.
Because.
And brother, sometimes we make mistakes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make mistakes. We offend somebody because we're trying to do good to them and we don't. But those are experiences.
Right.
And we get up and try it again, try it better, and then keep on praying, and God is going to help us. Yes.
I just want
This
to
will be
say,
our
after
last.
going through the lesson study, I just came to the conclusion, like the song says, I can't surrender just partway. I have to surrender all.
Exactly. Because when we don't, that little part that we don't surrender is going to mess us up most of the time. Of course, the lesson talks about other things, but the most important was love. But I jumped on the conclusions, on the application, so to speak, because oftentimes we just talk about what it says here, but now, okay, now that we have this knowledge, what are we going to do? How we are going to use this knowledge? How we're going to use the knowledge that we just learned, that we need to seek all these virtues, and the most important is love. Well, what does it mean? Exactly what we're talking about here. When we encounter other people, what you got to love. And you treat others with love, you wish for them, you help them, and you obtain what is the best thing that they can obtain. And the best thing that we can all obtain is what? Salvation. Be with God. So, that's pretty much what the lesson is telling us. Peter, in his inspiration letter, he wrote many things that are helpful for all of us. So, thank you, man.